What you're about to see is a sample of the streaming online class videos. All of those online videos will have a first work followed by the notes followed by the second work. And now a first work of High Fidelity with Catherine Franco and Charlie Duran.
You can make all the faces you want, but it's my car, my stereo, my compilation tape.
How can you like Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye? That's like saying you support the Palestinians and the Israelis.
That's exactly not what I'm saying at all, actually, Rob. Okay, Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye they make punk rock.
Maid. Marvin Gaye is dead. His father shot him in
Whatever. And the Israelis and the Palestinians don't. They don't make pop records. Okay? Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye are not engaged in a bitter territorial dispute. And the Israelis and the Palestinians are. You know, Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, and who says I like Marvin Gaye anyway?
Hey. Marvin Gaye, Gotta Give It Up. That's our song. Marvin Gaye is basically responsible for our entire relationship.
Is that right? Well, I'd like a word with him.
Don't you remember?
I remember the song, I just don't remember who sang it. I can see why you prefer Jada Garfunkel. I get it, really. It's just, there are just so many other reasons. There are so many more important things to think about. They're just records, and if one is better than the other, then who cares except for you and Barry and Dick?
That was just a snippet of the first work that Charlie and Catherine did on High Fidelity. And now, a look at the notes that I gave them.
Okay, I think it's a couple things, and I think once we talk about this, it'll make a lot more sense. Overall, I think what was missing for you was a clearer scene objective.
Yeah.
And one that you could really fight for. And I think that this scene works best. You know, it's a little bit tricky in that I don't think the scene objective is that obvious, but it's in a way it's great when that does happen, because it gives you the ability to sort of be more creative with what you're doing, you know, and you can choose, make a more interesting choice. I think that the problem, why do you think they can't make it as a couple?
I feel like he can't grow up.
That's it. Okay, that's it.
So,
he's an eternal child. He's the prairie eternus. He's a child, and I think that the reason that this conversation, what ends up happening is one of the first things he talks about is Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
And so, which is your clue. I think one of the. Have you seen this movie?
A million years ago.
Okay.
No.
All right. So he couldn't possibly open up with a worse subject than his music, and I think his frustration is that she's just not loving it.
Yeah.
You know, when we're in relationships, we want to be loved and for all that we are, not just the good parts. You know, just the whole thing, and that's very difficult. It's difficult to do, but it's also difficult to experience. So I think that the whole music thing, you know, because this is such a huge part of his identity, a big part of your job is to get her to embrace it. She's not embracing it. And it is sort of like, you don't like my dog, you don't like me. You know, you don't like my music, you don't like my records, you don't like me. And but I think the primary emotion is where we need to start. And I want to see you enter the scene fighting for the girl, because the very first thing I wrote for you was a moment before and then why are you here? Because even before you speak, it didn't seem like you had a plan. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, that's just a snippet of the notes that I gave Charlie and Catherine, and what follows is the second work.
You can make all the faces you want. My car, my stereo, my compilation tape.
How can you like Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye? That's like saying that you support the Israelis and the Palestinians.
It's not at all like saying that, actually, Rob. Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye make pop records.
Made. Marvin Gaye is dead. His father shot him in
Whatever.
1984.
And the Israelis and the Palestinians don't. Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye are not engaged in a bitter territorial dispute, and the Israelis and the Palestinians are. Art Garfunkel and Marvin Gaye.
All right.
And who says I like Art Garfunkel anyway?
Hey. Marvin Gaye, gotta give it up? That's our song. Marvin Gaye is responsible for our entire relationship.
Is that right? I'd like a word with them.
Don't you remember?
I remember.
Okay, Charlie, I don't think there's any room for you to get calm at all.
Okay.
You know, don't you? I mean, as the scene progresses, I think everything she does has to irritate you more and more and more.
Okay.
This is a great rework.
I remember the song. I just couldn't remember who sang it.
But don't you remember?
I remember the song, but I just couldn't remember who sang it. Okay, I get why you prefer Gaye to Garfunkel. I get it, really. But there are so many more important things to think about.
Okay, Catherine, what's your action? Remember, you're turning him from a frog to a prince.
I'm trying to get him to, like... I get it, I'm with you, but now you need to get with me.
Okay, then change him. Change him. There's more important things to think about. It's not just information, it's to get him to think about something other than his stupid music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it. Let's go back a few lines.
Hey, Marvin Gaye, gotta give it up? That's our song. Marvin Gaye's responsible for our entire relationship.
Is that right? I'd like a word with them.
Don't you remember?
I remember the song, okay? I just couldn't remember who sang it.
I trust that you were able to see the difference between the first work and the second work based on the notes that I gave Catherine and Charlie. It's a difference between giving a performance that is adequate and gets the job done and giving a performance that people would actually pay to watch. The streaming class videos all entail an entire first work, an entire section of notes that I've given, and the entire second work. I encourage you to watch at your own pace, take what you can use, leave the rest, find what's valuable, and hopefully all of the scenes will show you what an enormous difference hotter choices, more interesting choices, more evocative choices make in your performance. Thanks again for being here, and I look forward to coaching you.